escape from echoes past. The solar, she's the Texas last. In her shadow, Lapland awaits to witness the intertwining of fates. No distance is far enough to hide, so Linnea waits with swords at her side. In her shadow, Lapland awaits to witness the intertwining of fates. No distance is far enough to hide, so Linnea waits with swords at her side. Memories can't weigh her down of her family's lost renown. Oh, Texas won't break, won't bend, won't bow, as Lapland awaits a fate she can't allow. Swords cross paths to solemn vow, for families they both disavow. Texas, hear the call, a fate for a will that will never fall. When Lapland's near, her skin will crawl, as the city prepares for a brawl. Syracuse's family's reach is long, and he's pulling you where you belong. Villains beware not to be reckless, only fools try to mess with Texas. A contract is formed, a new fang born, familial ties completely forlorn. Inspired by Linea's strife, Lapland becomes sorrow's knife. Oh, Texas won't break, won't bend, won't bow, as Lapland awaits a fate she can't allow. Swords cross paths to solemn vow, for families they both disavow. Won't break, won't bend, won't bow, as Lapland awaits a fate she can't allow. Swords cross paths to solemn vow, for families they both disavow. Oh, Texas won't break, won't bend, won't bow, as Lapland awaits a fate she can't allow. Swords cross paths to solemn vow, for families they both disavow. danger lurking in the night. Slugs ganging up for a tough fight. Try to escape with all your might, or you're in for a hell of a sight. Susie eyes, she's taking aim. Empty mags, the name of the game. No slug will ever slow her down. She's the queen of this crazy town. Arknights EN since the world went dry. No mills to catch my roaming eye. It's a wasteland of the young and spry. Gone are the days of the middle-aged high. Deserted roads where cougars used to roam. No guidance in this youthful home. In the shadows of the past I lose my calm, searching for love that feels like a hot mom. Where are the days of wisdom's kiss, left with archetypes sorely missed? Why did Kaiser abandon this place? The lack of milk's a clear disgrace. Finally hit their prime, Kaiser can't be found for a long time. Generous curves are finally abound. Hagmaxing the light, voluptuous and round. No saggy charm or seasoned grace, just younger hearts in a frantic race. In the cracks of time I find my place, hoping for a caring face. Where are the days of wisdom's kiss, left with archetypes sorely missed? Why did Kaiser abandon this place? The lack of milk, a clear disgrace. The days of wisdom's kiss, left with archetypes sorely missed. Why did Kaiser abandon this place? The lack of milk's a clear disgrace.
Alright. Hopefully I got everything set up. It's been a while, and I gotta get back in the saddle and relearn some things. Anyways, I wasn't planning on taking that much of a break, if you want to call it that, because I didn't take time off for the holidays or anything like that. I worked through most of it except for specific days like on Christmas Day and on New Year's Day and stuff like that, but leading up to it and between it and all that, I just had normal work days. I didn't take any time off. I didn't have any special plans or whatnot, anything going on. And the game, one of the patches killed the newbie account, the experiment. I am not sure if I want to rescue it from purgatory because I have to create an email to bind it. There's no other way to get to the account. And the reason why I didn't want to do that is because I wanted to be able to just give the account away to somebody, find someone online that might have had an interest in it, and they could just send me their email, and then I could just bind it to that, and I wouldn't have to do anything with a password or any, whatever. Very easy way to turn the account over to someone. Now, if I have to make an account and bind it to that, then I have to turn over like that account with the password to someone, and everything gets a little bit messier. I know it's still doable, but it's so much more complicated. I definitely got to, I think, the most critical parts on that account for what I wanted, which was really focused on, like the first month at least, but also, I kind of wanted to play enough into, I can't say the end game, not the end game, but like completing the core content and getting to the point where all of the, I guess you'd say like, all content's kind of optional, but we'll say everything kind of post chapter 7-ish. Because if you can do chapter 8, I feel like you can do the events that come out. You can do a Risk 18. Like, all of those things are kind of in achievable reach now. You might be able to dabble a little bit in stuff that's annoying without a lot of stuff, like Reclamation and Algorithm, though I wouldn't recommend doing it on the default difficulty challenge if you've just barely managed to make it past chapter 7. But my point is that you can play the game like more open-endedly. So that was kind of the goal, and the project seems to be killed off prematurely. But there is a possibility that I could rescue it if I really feel like pushing past chapter 7. I don't know. If people have strong feelings about it, they can post it somewhere on my channel and I'll see it. Either comments or in the little blog section. Anyways, I do have a Pepe. I did a tiny bit of testing with her. Not a ton. I think that I think she's way underrated. I don't understand the hate at all. It doesn't make any sense. I think she's pretty neat, but I suppose pretty neat for a lot of people doesn't count for much when all they care about is the next operator that's going to make Wizardel obsolete. I don't know. I think that only matters for new players. I don't understand why people that have played the game for a while would care, to be honest. But I don't know. Whatever. I'm not not gonna think about it too much. I forgot what I needed. I need these and these. Okay. 4 and 1. Ugh, dumb. So the spiky balls. And burn the rest of our sanity on these. And then I don't think I have anything pre-farmed. Oof. I just had my rocks completely drained. That sounds really inappropriate, but it's accurate. Oh, that's painful. So I'm like actually kind of out of rock. She does get a bonus to that. Okay. Oh man. This is 3 of these. Actually, I need 4 of them. I think I have just enough to make the tier 4s. Let's see if I can get the whole thing done. Alright.
What's this place?
Get me 3 and then 1. Yeah, I can do it. Easy. Easy. I don't pre-farm anything. I don't like look this stuff up. All I do is I farm efficiently whatever I'm low at. That's it. I've been doing that for a very long time. In the early days, sometimes it would kind of screw me over, but in the early days there were dead weeks, and in the dead weeks I would fill in the stuff that I was missing. I would get specific stuff so that I could actually like build operators, but during events and whatnot, I'd sometimes operators would just not be getting built because I had the ability to farm resources efficiently. And I would maximize that because I knew in the long run it would mean the amount of time I had to spend farming was less. And I do think that that is accurate still. Let's see. We got... I need to do some stuff here. For show.
I don't want to open my eyes. I'm worried the interior design is going to scare the life out of me.
Yeah, minimalist is gay. And I don't mean that, like, as a pejorative. I mean, like, literally.
Is this room protected against electrical discharge?
I mentioned that to somebody, and they were, like, confused because there's no canonical, there's no, like, text information that says that. But the way they did his... I don't know her. I don't even know what she does. The way they did his voice lines is, like... he complains about interior design, and he has a very gay-sounding voice. Like, it's over the top. It's cliche. It's more than SpongeBob. Relevel. Okay. Special. Oh no. Oh no. This either means I'm gonna have to do a whole bunch of experimentation or like look up information to know what the yeah. This is very unclear what the efficiency is, but basically she has a chance of having an order filled that doesn't use gold, which is good for a I mean, it's good for a 3-3-3 base. It's good for anyone that, or if you want to turn, like let's say you're running the Chimère squad, and then you want to run another gold squad, but rather than run the high efficiency like Proviso one that eats through gold bars like crazy, she's like the opposite of Proviso. Actually, you might be able to combo them. But Proviso makes you need a whole lot of gold production. Pepe reduces the need. So you might be able to get away with running a single gold production if you were doing like a Chimère squad with enough uptime, and then Pepe with enough uptime, and then have 3 EXP farms. But you would still have to, you would generate XP at too high of a rate to where you would run out of LMD at some point. For sure. So you'd still have to farm, but in theory, you might be able to build operators a little bit faster. That way, you'd just be sacrificing other things, and that would be, some sanity for LMD that you could be spending on elite materials. But I don't know. There might be some trick. I'm gonna have to do some research on Pepe. I'm not gonna do that right now. What I am gonna do right now is put in which? Oh, the Chimera Squad. And I gotta check this. What do I actually... Oh my gosh, I'm completely out of space. Clue 1s are worthless and 7s, so I'll just get rid of those. Do I want to give away a clue 6? I don't really want to, but I have 3. I'll get rid of one of them. A 2 and a 3. 3's a little harder to get.
Rhodes Island. This landship sure has gotten a lot brighter.
大丈夫ですよ。一人でいるのは平気ですから。
I need to, fix the timing on this. I have too much stuff I have to swap out. I've actually been a little bit of a dirtbag, not just with streaming, but with, this account in general. I've still been playing it, but, man, I've been doing so many other things. Playing other games and catching up on TV. I got caught up on Invincible. Oh my gosh, I'm so gonna run out of space. I got caught up on Invincible, and what other show did I watch? There was something else. Oh man. Oh, Fallout. I was watching Fallout 2, and there had to be some anime too, because it was basically 2 months. I can't even remember all of what I watched. But I got caught up on a lot of stuff. Rurouni Kenshin, I watched the new one. Oh man. And it's decent. They do kind of some weird voice stuff for him that I think is a little too faithful to the original. I didn't really think that was necessary, because I guess they kind of want Kenshin to sound country bumpkin-y. But he doesn't originally have that. The prequel, which is the best version of Rurouni Kenshin, Tsuyoku-hen, is it's a masterpiece. But Rurouni Kenshin, he just he doesn't talk a lot in it, to be honest. But he's very to the point and not, I don't know, so bumpkin-y. I don't know how else to put it. Idle. I thought I started this. Man. Me trying to think of things and playing around in the base and being distracted. Alright. I am going to get out of the base. I haven't done any of this event yet. I haven't even looked at things. I haven't looked up anything.
But you're actually doing it.
Man.
I don't think about anything so complicated, but I'm more than glad to help out. Always.
Did I? Yeah, I did do that. Oh, I remember. We'll see how this goes. I have... You know what? It'll be funny if it's possible with S2. My guess is they want you to use this. But we're going to see what happens. They've baited me a couple of times. It used to be that you always had to use S3 no matter what. And, you know what? S3 doesn't really work on a map like this. Unless you can put her here. But they don't give you enough time to wait for that. But we'll see. I don't think... I mean, it's not a lot of things that can kill Mudrock. That's not like a boss. So maybe it is supposed to be S2. Yeah, for 4 years of this game, it was always whatever your last skill was. And if you tried to use whatever the most popular skill was, you would get screwed over a lot of times. But, I got... Yeah. It has to be skill 3. Because this isn't even going to do anything. So, we'll see how this goes. This is sketchy. I think I'm gonna leak again. I think I have to time... Yeah, I have to time... Oh man, I have to time the skill. I thought they were only gonna make me time it once, but they're gonna make me time it twice. Okay. How long is it? It's 10 seconds, right? Yeah, 10 seconds. So once they start moving... Oh, do I have to do it right when they spawn? Oh no, she slows him down. Okay. Yeah. I forgot she also does the slow. Alright, one down. Let's see. No, we're not going to do that one. Huh? It shows me everyone. Do I not have to place anyone down for this one? I guarantee you this one's going to be S3 for sure. Not even... Oh, that's... Okay, I see. Wow! It's not every day you get a Paradox with 2 Ayas in it. Do I have to activate anyone's skills? Oh shit. I think I might have needed to activate her skill earlier. Yeah. We gotta activate Aya 1 before, or Aya Alter before other Aya. Oh man.
I'll be careful. Relax, Volcano. We're just
Who comes up with these jank-ass strategies?
Please don't get mad.
Wait, there's someone there. I didn't even see him.
Nothing can stop me.
Alright, so it's this. and then this, and then this.
Who says a logistics
Oh man. So I have to let him charge more. Oh my god.
Thankfully, the volcano didn't want to keep me that badly. All the best. Relax, volcano. We're just here to collect a few precious samples. Please don't get mad. This time, we can make it all flowing. This may be a little hot.
I can turn the volume up a little more. It's a bit quiet. Alright, there we go. And now it's probably going to be a cakewalk. And that is, got Flamebringer on the edge there. Bad.
This volcano a century from now. Their footprints will cover ours.
Alright.
Great. This place is the same as it ever was.
And now,
Morning. Got any new plans?
am I going to do this first? We'll do this first. That's quite the choke point. Where's... Oh, here. Huh. I was thinking about putting like a mud rock here, but I'm guessing that's what options do I have for this? I could try Helliger just for the lulz, even if Zuo Lee is just better. Also, I don't know if there's any range stuff here. Like, Mudrock's the safe option, for sure. Drones. And that does funnel into here, so it's really just 3 lanes. Even then. I know nothing about this stage. I've done no research. So, we're gonna do Elysium. S2. We're gonna do a Siege. Siege S1 and just go like full just DP as fast as possible. I'm not gonna do that. Or am I gonna do Elysium? I'm gonna do Siege, because then I don't have to click. And I'm gonna do a Thorns, because there's a good spot for him. do Zuo Lee. I think he can. I think he can do that top right spot. And that's to cover any possible stupid things. I have no idea if there's a boss on this or not. You know, I'm kind of tempted to do Silver Ash instead of Thorns, because I pimped out his module. Like, Thorns is the better option for a blind run. That's... Yeah, we'll do it. I might regret this, but maybe not.
I hope my Mika assistant.
I definitely need some range. Question is, what kind of range? Actually, we're gonna do that, and we're gonna do, because I have no idea what the enemy's gonna bring. Oh, I thought I had I'll do. Yeah. Stay idiot proof. I can probably use like really any. Raketo is probably fine. Probably don't even need anything else, but well, let's see. DPS options. Oh, that's not a bad option. Both of those aren't bad options. To Gascalon. Do I need an oh shit button?
The melody of hope turns into a song.
I don't think I do. But I could bring one anyways. I'll do a red. If this goes poorly, I'll optimize more. But I don't even think I'm gonna need Ascalon or red. We'll see. Like, it's a bad omen that my Malding song came on just as I'm for this. Okay. It is what it is. That's not what I was expecting. You know, I have no idea where I'm going to put Mudrock. There's no cannon on this, is there? I mean, I don't see a cannon. I just realized if I have Mudrock and Hoshi, the cannon's going to prioritize Hoshi unless something's stacked up. And Hoshi can't isn't... This might be spicy. That's what I'm getting at. You know, I didn't actually think she would kill these like so efficiently. I was expecting to feed Siege some of these bad guys, and I would have been better off spreading them out. Yes, yeah, I didn't really want to do that. Because now I'm like wasting resources on this.
I'm listening.
I feel like there's gonna be a cannon.
A warrior must be ready to face death on the battlefield.
Don't. Nothing can mask the scent of despair.
A warrior must be ready to face death on the battlefield.
大地こそが我が友 私の声に応える
I don't trust it.
Not even a stirring of grass will go overlooked.
大地こそが我が友
My rule is to balance your lives hanging.
私の声に応える
The situation. Go no further. This road is closed.
A warrior must be ready to face death on the battlefield.
大地こそが我が友
My weapon chooses its worthy wielder.
I will sink your corpse into shadow.
Mudrock's killing stuff too much. I'm like not getting any DP out of Inez. Oh boy.
My weapon chooses its worthy wielder.
私の声に応える
Okay.
My rule is to balance your lives hanging. A warrior must be ready to face death on the battlefield.
Silver Ash hits hilariously hard now, but I'm not entirely sure if he's gonna show it off or not. Yeah, like doing too much damage in this tile. It's fine. This is actually a good spot for Ascalon as well, but I have Silver Ash there. I mean, I could actually put Ascalon here too.
My weapon chooses its worthy wielder.
I don't really know where to put. I don't know where to put my ranged ops yet. I'm just kind of like in a holding pattern, waiting to see what's gonna show up.
My rule is to balance
I kind of feel like I'm gonna put her up here, facing this way, and probably have her down here, and then Aya either here or here. I didn't even put Aya here.
Engaging. Go.
The situation. Go no further. This road is closed.
A warrior must be ready to face death on the battlefield.
I know what I will sink your corpse into shadow. No one will find it.
Get lost.
I know what to do. Don't order me around.
Not one step forwards.
連綿たる山々となり 獲物を見つけましたよくなる岩を立ち上がる
No one can see me. They only remember my blade. They only remember my blade.
I thought this expanded her range. I guess it doesn't. That's fine.
指先に集ま
So there is elemental damage. Can't get full coverage there.
All balance held by the orders of Yes. All beasts hunted by the sons of men.
A warrior must be ready to face death on the battlefield.
I'm just gonna activate Golden Glow when it pops up, maybe. Even though it's gonna kill these things a lot.
A warrior must be ready to face death on the battlefield. My rule is to balance your lives hanging. A warrior must be ready to face death.
So we should be hitting the next like category in a few more kills. It's kind of annoying. Are they gonna spawn down here too?
From here on, all balance held by the orders
That
of
did
Yes.
nothing.
All beasts hunted by the sons of men.
My rule is to balance your lives hanging.
Can I get away from me? Please!
And now we're at the next
Warrior must be
the
ready
next
to
layer.
face death on the battlefield.
Oh, now the cannon's here. Yeah, that's a problem. Ooh, Ascalon's gonna get killed.
Go no further. This road is closed.
Should have put Mudrock forward one more square. But, yeah, that's a problem. This is definitely a problem.
A warrior must be ready to face death on the battlefield.
The situation behind me may handle be.
Ascalon. Oh, nope, 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 nope. Yeah.
Picked out your bait yet?
Ashes from volcanoes. They consume and erase, then nourish and propagate.
I'll just have to keep an eye on if too much stuff gets stacked up here. And use Silver Ash.
From here on, all balance held by the orders of Yes. All beasts hunted by the sons of men.
Wait for it.
My rule is to balance your lives hanging.
Made up your mind?
I'm actually gonna do that. Maybe I should put Silver Ash here.
touch, sweet release.
My rule is to balance your lives hanging.
No surprise.
Don't? Nothing can last the second of despair.
No one knows my name. Meet your death.
My weapon chooses its worthy wield.
Oh, I didn't even realize I'm I'm already past 300. So the last wave is in freaking 20 more kills.
From here on, all balance held by the orders of Yak. All peace hunted by the sons of men.
My weapon chooses its worthy wield.
So probably after these guys, after this wave, is the final tier. Yep.
A warrior must be ready to face
So here is
Tiny may a candle be. It shall drive out the darkest.
last tier.
They consume and erase, and nourish and propagate.
my rules to balance your lives.
It is kind of funny to have Inez like stall them while Rock's hammer actually puts the hurt on. That was not planned, but it is a thing.
Will not be tolerated.
Oh shit!
Not one step forward.
Better watch your step.
No one knows me.
We're good for now. I can actually.
They consume and erase, and nourish.
I was gonna say his
From here on, all balance held by the orders of Yak.
skill was not down at the best time, but we'll be fine. Hoshi'll probably die, but you know, she might dodge. Let's find out. If she survives. What? I thought the cannon did true damage. Is it physical?
Confidence of our companions is earned.
Oh, whatever. We one-shotted it.
These victories are precious.
Well, that's out of the way. Now, Pepe. Not quite. What's her trust bonus? She does get some defense. Oh man, she has over 400 defense already. Yeah, I don't know. I don't understand the Pepe hate. I mean, Naomi is a pretty well-liked artist in the community, and I actually think her kit is pretty interesting. So we are going to... What is this? Oh. I haven't played on this computer, or this game on this computer in a while. I've been mostly playing this game on my laptop downstairs, while stuff is on the TV. Am I going to watch this? I'll watch it later. We'll come back to it. Well, we won't. I'll come back to it. I don't even know what to click on. Not medals. Where's the shop? So that's where the missions are. Is this the shop? No. What? Is this the shop? Okay. Tui they had in here? Man, I understand why they moved these to like these shops, but because they were like a CC thing, but I like farmed all of them out of CCs early on. I could have gotten like other stuff. Oh well. These are always nice. Okay. Okay. Man, I'm gonna hit the wrong button every time. They have stuff kind of in weird positions for this. Gemstone engravings? Wait. What? Okay, so those are the different stages. Is that like a special buff or something? What the hell is a gemstone engraving? Oh, whatever. Oh, actually. So we are gonna do... I'm still gonna use Siege. Why? Because Siege deserves more attention, and too many people think that she's bad, or obsolete, or obviated by flag bearers, and that's just not true. But we'll stick to S2 because I don't anticipate to be under DP crunch. But Siege with their level 3 module, this is more efficient than Myrtle if you feed her like 3 enemies. And Siege also, like Bagpipe, can charge other vanguards when she kills stuff. So if I had a Myrtle and I didn't have a Bagpipe, if Siege kills 8 units, then Bagpipe would be further ahead than if I brought a Bagpipe. However, Bagpipe does front load all of that, and so the whole thing is like in contingency contract, having it like right up front. That is the main appeal to that strategy. But I am using Bagpipe for the damage more than the DP in this case, because I could probably just run Siege and that's it. We are going to bring Silver Ash because I didn't really show off all the damage he does now, but it's pretty crazy. He hits like considerably harder than Milnar now. He just doesn't have the cycle time. Probably one other guard. Hodor is always fun. I'll do Viviana. We'll be full goofy. I have to be somewhat smart and bring some versatility.
Fine sun and gentle breeze. I hope everyone makes it home safe.
I don't think I'm going to need more tanking than that. Oh, it doesn't... What? There should be... Do I have to manually go to the next page? That's dumb. That's me talking to myself. You guys can't even see the other page. What the hell was I doing? Ooh, I could use Amia. we're gonna do Reed. We're gonna do Reed because we have Viviana, and we're gonna do a Praminix because we have Viviana.
Darling, be with us.
We're gonna do. Oh man.
Hi everyone, I'm here to slap off.
And then I can kind of do whatever I want at this point, right?
No fear, no doubt, she's out for the thrill. Red, the sweep assassin with an unstoppable will.
Am I gonna do a real caster? Sure.
You tell me your ends. Just don't ask me my
footsteps have tread. In the world of fluffy tales, she's like years ahead. In the moon's embrace, her secret life
What sights
unfolds
will the
with every
doctor show us
fluffy
this
tale.
time?
Her destiny
I'll
dance in the dark.
It depends on the types of enemies. If I change my mind on this.
Red, chasing dreams in the night. Fluffy tales are her delight. No fear, no doubt, she's out for the thrill. Red, the sweep assassin with an
We're heading
unstoppable
out.
will.
Remember, mind your papa.
Red, chasing dreams in the
Impurities
night.
must be purged.
We'll take them out. My rule is to balance your lives hand.
No fear, no doubt, she's out for the thrill. Red, the sweep assassin
That's like a sweet spot for Thorns. Facing up here.
She sneaks through alleyways, shadows in her wake. Her fingers gentle, never making a mistake. Soft whispers echo where her footsteps have tread. In the world of fluffy tales, she's
Watch
like
the
years
close.
ahead. In the moon's embrace, her secret life unfolds with every fluffy tale. Her destiny molds a dance in the dark. No one knows her name, but Red's on a mission.
We'll do it that way. Ah, it looks hilarious. Oh my gosh.
Red, the sweep assassin with an unstoppable will. Red, chasing dreams in the night. Fluffy tales are her delight. No fear, no doubt, she's out for the thrill. Red, the sweep assassin with an unstoppable will.
Spring breeze, timely rain.
We'll do
Now we sow the leaf.
Oh, that's not what I wanted.
This is my
That.
Don't rush me. Let me get a nice stretch before I squeeze down.
Come a bit nearer. Trust in me, let the haze get clearer.
Acknowledged.
She's got a brother with plans and schemes. Talks of legacy and lineage dreams. Build a future.
What are you
the
planning?
family
Must our minds worthy
When
enemy,
in her sunshine,
or art thou not
it's
but a jester?
Lower your shield, let the walls fade. Let's find secrets in the night's cascade. She's the storm that calms my fears.
I didn't expect these to get. That's interesting.
Brother's voice, a distant echo.
I thought it was like per square, but maybe everything connected to it has like collective hit points.
Lower your guard, just stay with me.
I didn't even get to use her skill.
Future stories untold.
It is just a stage 1.
Not their plans, but
So long as
I'll probably run out of sanity by the time I get to stage 5. And I'm not gonna go all the way to the boss today. Ooh, tutorial.
your shield, let the walls fade.
With a manticore, huh?
In the night's cascade, she's the storm that calms my fears. Through her eyes, the world appears.
So now her attack's gonna be all nerfed.
Lower your shield, let the walls fade. Let's find secrets in the night's cascade. She's the storm that calms my fears. Through her eyes, the world appears. Lower your shield, let the walls fade. Let's find secrets in the night's cascade. She's the storm that calms my fears.
Oh, it's I see.
here I am.
Those things look super weird.
Here I am.
The doctors out of cash stuck in this maze. Operators need raises, but we in a daze. Base needs upgrades, sanity's on the brink. Roofs leaking, patients make another drink. Less money, more problems, piling up high. Jesus sanity faded to the sky. Running out of masters like we in chains. All we got is stress and broken remains.
I see. So AoE then is really good against that because it hits multiple stuff. So like Rosmontis in theory would be incredible on those, and Pepe does something similar, but not quite as extreme. Maybe I should be using Rosmontis.
All we got is stress and broken remains. Red lights flashing, emergency calls. Can't afford the gear, watching operators fall. Sanity's a concept, slipping through my hands. Road silence crying out, buried in quicksand. Less money, more problems, piling up high. Insanity faded to the sky. Running out of masters like we in chains. All we got is stress and broken remains. Holding on tight, hope comes and goes. River dried up where the resources flow.
And she's gonna attack that? Yeah, I see how it works. I want that.
But we're road silent, fires breathe in this air.
There you are. This is the place.
Strategizing midnight figures and facts.
hold on.
Sleep, just plan and finding hidden tracks. We're low but never out. Guard your flank in this game of survival. No room to blank. Less money, more problems, piling up high.
Oh, I can put her there.
Running out of masters like we in chains. All we got is stress and broken remains.
There you are.
I see.
I was very impressed by everyone's performance. It was fantastic.
We are definitely bringing Rosmontis.
Shadows fight with light. Two souls clashed over name in sight. Priestess and Kelsey in the human night. Who claims the doctor who took flight?
私がオペレーターのみんなを守る。
Priestess had a heart of gold and fire. Kelsey's eyes could spark desire. Both stood tall on history's wire. One wins truth, the other a liar. Whose heart did the doctor leave behind? Was it love or fate that made them blind? Priestess of Kelsey, who of a kind can shout the truth loud till the stars unwind?
The warrior must be ready to face death.
Priestess yelled, I've got his ring. Kelsey said, I've heard him sing. Promises are a fragile thing.
Spring breeze, timely weather. Now we sow the grain.
Years that pass like fleeting birds. Silent scars left in words. Priestess and Kelsey holding swords in a duel of forgotten chords. Whose heart did the doctor leave behind? Was it love or fate that made them blind? Priestess of Kelsey, who
I wasn't to sow the mountains when summer leaves the white dew. Seed the plains when equinox paints russet hue.
Yeah, I guess we'll do it here.
Whose heart did the doctor leave behind? Was it love or fate that made them blind? Priestess of Kelsey, who of a kind can shout
Yes?
the truth loud till the stars unwind?
This is no arena. No stars will remember its fallen water.
Till the stars unwind.
Trust me.
Till the stars unwind.
あなたたちの心に染み込んでいくわ。
I don't think there's enough pressure on the crystals for Rosmontis to shine yet. But this skill right here deals so many separate instances of damage that if you need a quantity of hits on something, it's pretty good at it.
The light of Carlin was shining on us.
Alright. This is a good spot for Rosmontis right here. Or Alter as well. I don't really have a good spot for a Sculptor, but that's fine. Oof. We'll see what happens there.
My speed and tactics. My weapon chooses its worthy wielder. Discipline strengthens the will.
When were the seeds of this tragedy planted?
Do Pepe.
Bravery shall overcome evil.
Alright, it's time for Rosmontis to shine.
We run, put that down. Your filthy hands desecrated. Go ahead.
What the hell is that? Oh, I see. They have a shield for a certain number of hits. And then once you deal that number of hits, then you can deal damage. So, Cruz was a good choice.
Are you ready?
They're doing nothing now.
Bye.
Pretty easy. Alright, let us see what's next. I mean, it's technically only one lane. I wouldn't trust to play it that way, but alright, let's see what they have in store for us.
I have prayed to the gods, and they have revealed to me an auspicious omen. We'll find something good this time.
We'll take them out. My weapon chooses its worthy
Bye.
Ready to play step.
play with ghosts of past when the future moves so fast.
Watch the shadow behind you. My rule is to balance your lives hanging.
Shiny stuff.
Bravery shall overcome evil. God, you didn't think. So this is what
We left the old game in the dust. New shiny stuff.
Orders, please.
It's all we trust.
Whoa, whoa! Let me down more slowly. There are fragile artifacts down there.
It's fine.
My rule is to balance your lives hanging. If we run and put that down, your pretty sounds desecrated.
So pure. No one here can break her pure. Her voice is strong, it cuts the air. Japanese food, her secret flair.
You want to talk?
She shouts sushi
Too late.
tempura.
Here I am.
Empowered heart, her spirit glows. Wasabi words, her fierce delight. Noodles give her strength to fight. Saga shine up your side. Strength you find in every bite. Unagi fire, ramen light. Shout it out all through the night.
Take
I still have not been able to get a level where I can make any operator shine. But that's fine. 5 is... well, it depends. I guess not yet. 5 is normally when, like, the event kind of really starts. And that's when you get your, it's typically where you get your welfare operator. Here. I mean, okay. I bet Reapers are good in this.
A timely departure paves the way for an early return. Moonlight barely laid upon the brazen papaya, yet you've witnessed the
What does this thing do? Ah.
Let's put them 6 feet under.
Well, that thing kind of hurts.
Close it off a clear reason to let you go. Don't have to?
I'm not used to things that are able to actually, like, hurt. Hurt Lynn. It's so rare. Yeah, dude, look how quickly Rosmontis kills it. I knew it, dude. As soon as I learned how the gems work, I'm like, man, Rosmontis is gonna completely destroy this event.
Standing by. Don't rush. Wow. A word I've not heard in a long, long. Give me a reason to let you go. Don't have one?
That time it didn't hurt her.
It's time to make an example. You'll see what happens when they
Yeah, you're not gonna get any of that to stick with Rosmontis. There's no way. It's gonna kill it so quickly. Oh my gosh.
you into the soil to grow anew. this is what happens when you cross the line.
That at least showed off Rosmontis, even if Pepe didn't get to shine at all. They definitely designed this event for Pepe, like the gems, because the AoEs are dealing multiple hits on multiple tiles. And so the secondary hit from the, what do they call it? I don't even know what they call it for Pepe, but basically Aftershock. The Aftershock AoE damage is dealing surrounding tiles. Each of those tiles is counting as an additional hit. So instead of doing a single target hit, you're doing tons of individual hits on separate things, which are cumulatively counting as hits. I can't believe I still have so much sanity. I thought I would run out by like 5. We'll do... I mean, I can probably burn some of my sanity on the thing. I wasn't planning on doing a long stream. And every time I say that, I go for like 3+ hours, but it's been like an hour and a half. What is this? I don't like this. So everything here has to come through here. So it's only 2 lanes if I don't block it way up front. I mean, in theory, I should be bringing like a mud rock or something, but we're gonna stick with the current squad for a little longer. Oh, what is this bullshit? What are those? And they're losing health. I don't like what's happening.
Forward! Tactics sharpen. Run while you can. Better to be a coward with a pulse than a martyr with a grave. We'll take them out all at once. My rule is to balance your lives hanging. Bravery shall overcome evil.
Jessica fights with care. Oh, Jessica, you try your best in this long.
I know what I'm gonna do.
You're the one who's blessed. A gentle hand with the trigger fast in your golden heart.
Are you ready?
Find our rest.
Don't rush me. Let me get a nice big stretch.
I don't think Osmosis will hit that, but Pepe will. Easy.
Standing by.
Very well.
I'm prepared. I'm doublet. Silk you under through the night with a glow that's soft and light.
I don't think this was what they intended, but this is what I'm doing. This is the, this is how you win. Winners win.
Now this is a shocking discovery. Any idea how we might celebrate this, Doctor?
Oh man. These are very interesting stages. Oh, we got a good amount of... What is this? I have no idea what any of this is doing. These descriptions are always like target score for 2 rounds. Buying exchange techniques needed for it. Okay. Techniques? Is this like something that I actually have to pay attention to? Oh God.
With her honey smile, always walking that extra mile. Hot knives in her gentle hand, warm heart in a crazy land. She'll do anything for a biscuit sweet. In her world where love and danger meet. Hotter than the sun she's got. Knives will warm up every spot. K.O.B. knows what she wants. Biscuit dreams in her nightly haunts. Hot knives cutting through the haze. In her eyes, the eternal blaze. Biscuits and dreams fuel her quest. K.O.B. giving it her best. Hot knives, trails of love.
Okay.
She's the angel I think of. She'll climb mountains, swim the sea. For that honey biscuit she will be. Chasing more than what you see. Heating hearts with her decree. K.O.B. knows what.
Does that make a difference?
Biscuit dreams in her
Of course it does.
Cutting through the haze. In her eyes, the eternal blaze.
Okay. Whatever.
Biscuits and dreams fuel her quest. Biscuit dreams in her nightly haunts. Hot knives cutting through the haze. In her eyes, the eternal blaze.
Can I just do this? Cause like, there's gonna be, I have to do it, and that's gonna be like a lot worse, right? Yep. We already did that though. Oh, wait. I'm not gonna have 3. So wait. That doesn't work?
She knocks them down like
I messed something up. I can't get this though. Oh wait, I see. And that works. And then that gets me to the next one. And now I can get this. And see, but I couldn't go back here. Well, good to know that you get locked in. Okay.
It's her right.
Is this like an upgraded one? I guess.
She's a beacon in the darkest night. Her fury makes her foes take flight. In riding shadow,
we can't do that one yet.
Whatever. She knocks them down like it's her right.
So that. Okay.
Who did it? The mercenary fights for gold, but he's caught in a story untold. Streaming star, you official on the screen. Life changed fast like a crazy dream. Skies above, pixels so bright.
Huh. Weird.
Night. You official's voice is all here.
And I'm not gonna be able to do that. This is already different.
Stunlock love in the online haze. Hoarder is lost in the virtual maze. Dreams and he dreams with eyes so wide. Bound by the screens, nowhere to hide. From the battlefield to the glowing chat. Faces quest just to feel where she's at. Every donation.
Oh, I see.
Mercenary sleeping in this crowded space. Warrior's pride meets a heart divine. In the digital world, he starts to pine. Talents and begs for a fleeting glance. Holder awaits for their romance to dance. Lost in pixels, heart on sleeve.
I can't get that.
Streamer hoping to believe.
Oh no.
Lights glow on his longing face. Dreams of love in that neon space.
I don't understand. So that's worth the most, but what is this? Why do those seem worthless?
Nowhere to hide. No, nowhere to hide. Nowhere to hide.
Met a girl named Platinum. She's lighter than a breeze. She's got a smile so golden. She brings me to my knees. Flatter than a flapjack, but she got that style. Karate girl, so cool, she makes all the boys go wild. She struts down the street like she's owning the town. With a shimmer in her step, never lets them get her down. Her curves may be subtle, but her charm is bold. Got a heart of of diamonds, she's a sight to behold. Platinum, your shining makes the world aglow. Karate girl, you reap just what you sow. Flatter than a flat jack doesn't mean you lack. Gonna show the world, girl, you've got what they lack. In the club she dances, lights follow her lead. Doesn't need much, just a rhythm and a beat. She's a firework in motion, breaking every mold. Platinum girl, you're worth more than your weight in gold. People talk, talk, but she won't hear a thing. Platinum's got
I'm a little confused.
She's a fire world with a spark in her eye. Flatter than a flapjack, but she's flying sky high. Platinum, your shining makes the world aglow. Karate girl, you reap just what you sow. Flatter than a flapjack doesn't mean you lack. Gonna show the world, girl, you've got what they lack.
1860.
Platinum, your shining makes the world aglow. Karate girl, you reap just what you sow. Flatter than a flapjack doesn't mean you lack. Gonna show the world, girl, you've got what they lack. Platinum, your shining makes the world aglow. Karate girl, you reap just what you sow. Flatter than a flapjack doesn't mean you lack. Gonna show the world, girl, you've got what they lack. Fiona in the garden, fingers in the dirt, heart is golden.
I mean, whatever. I'm confused. I'm not gonna mess with that too much. Very weird. But it does not seem difficult. It's not what I want. It's this one? No. Where the hell is... It's not this, is it? Ah, there we go. Man, I don't really like the way where the buttons are in this event. It's very confusing because they have the shop and the stages and this all on like the right side and then almost nothing on the left. Like, this is so empty and all this stuff is here, but like it's all kind of cluttered. It's not like if they separate, if like the shop is somewhere else where the stages aren't, and then this I feel like should be like maybe up here. Like this I think should be here or here. The shop should be like over here, and then it's fine if like the different sections of stages are here. But this layout is, I don't like it. What is this? What's in here? Okay. And then do 2 of these. Weird. So I'll probably be on tomorrow or the day after to finish up the event. Probably tomorrow because I'll have to burn sanity for stuff. And I don't even think I've gotten to farming stages yet.
Great.
I don't even know what she does. A healer? She's a chain medic. I have no idea if they made chain medics, like, at all relevant. I have Papyrus, but I haven't even, like, looked at her.
But her heart remains true to potatoes and high boots. It's the
Barrier.
simplest view.
Barrier talent. Healing grants operator. Barrier got a 10%. Lasting 8 seconds. I see. I see. That's the skill. I mean, the numbers matter a lot for these skills in this case. I can't tell from this if that's worthwhile or not, but I don't know. I don't have any chain medics, which is kind of a fault on my part, since I don't like outsourcing my opinions to others, and I oftentimes find generic advice to be so overly generic that it dismisses potential use cases that could be valuable. But yeah, I have no idea. I would have to do a bit more research and theory crafting to see what they could do. Oh, I have so many ops that I got to I mean, I've got like a backlog now. And these are like, this is like A squad to A team ops on the back burner, which is not so ideal. I don't even know if I'm going to stay up late enough to swap anyone in. They're going to be out of commission for a while. Oh, man. Yeah, Pepe, I didn't do anything to show off Pepe, but I did do an experiment. Got a little bit of time. And no, that's not. That is right. I kind of want people to actually see what Pepe does, for instance, in a stage that doesn't have any other clutter. But I tested her S2 and S3 both. I have S2 up right now. And, I mean, the main thing is definitely feeding her enemies, and I think that one of the big things with Pepe is going to be the module. I see, watch, once that ends, she gets the 4 SP, 1 SP for each kill. So like Siege, she gets SPs per kill outside of her SP. Well, I mean, it technically comes as a lump sum when SP lockout's over. But basically, you want to feed her kills when her skills are active to reduce the amount that it takes to charge. But right now, it's not a very major reduction. But obviously masteries, if masteries improve the cycle time, then 1 SP is worth more when your SP is reduced from masteries than it is right now. But the other thing is there's the potential that a module will increase it from 1 to, say, 2, which would also be a huge upgrade. So if I had masteries on this skill, and it costs, 20% less to activate, and she's getting double the benefit from the kills, then the actual cycle time of this skill becomes like incredibly good. So that's one of the things that I was kind of testing in here, and just like what the damage is. So that's kind of just her, I guess people would say like lane holding skills, but it's on like a short cycle, so it charges pretty quick. It does a lot of damage, but the attack isn't so high that, I mean, back in the day people would have busted a nut over that attack. It's like 2600 or something. These days, 2600's like okay, but it's nothing special for physical damage. And I don't want auto. I want practice. This skill is the one that actually does enough damage to cut through modern armor, and the AoE is quite impressive. I definitely anticipate this is her main skill, but the other one is still interesting, especially if her module comes out and improves her SP regain factor. Because like I said, if it goes from 1 to 2, that's like huge. I mean, with Siege, the level 3, like I said, if you're doing SP lockout shenanigans, the you go from having to kill 30 enemies without a module to having to kill 10. And that's a pretty big difference. And again, this skill does get decent benefits from mastery in terms of reducing the SP requirement. So if you feed her a lot of enemies, this skill could charge very quickly. There are some stages that spam you with enemies. I mean, Reclamation Algorithm comes to mind. If you feed her like a stream of enemies in Reclamation Algorithm, the skill's going to literally be up 24/7. It's going to be an unlimited skill. But I did kind of also just kind of want to show how big her AoE is, because it'll hit like it hits bigger than I thought. She does have to have something to hit to deal the AoE though. Like, see, he gets hit here. So I think it's a plus shape, and get to draw it out. I think the AoE, I'll draw it on a map. So she's hitting here. If it's hitting here, then I'm guessing that it's hitting all of these squares. What I'm not sure is if it hits out here as well. If it's hitting these squares. So I'm a little curious how big the AoE is. If it's just like 9 squares, or if it's got the extra 4. If it's like the big diamond. So that's something I'll have to test, but I'm not entirely sure where I'll do it. It'll be something I'll have to notice from using her in general. But when ops are new, I tend to use them like all the time to get familiar with them. Like, I'll just put them in every squad, and you know, regardless of if they're optimal or not, just so that I use them and get used to them and try them in different scenarios. Because if you think about it, if you specifically just try to optimize an operator when you test them, you could be actually missing out on something. You could be limiting your creativity. So I like to actually test operators in not just optimal scenarios. I just use them for everything for you know, usually like at least a month, and then after that I'll use them as I feel like it. Like, if I thought they were fun, then I'll use them more or whatnot. Or if there's a specific scenario that I want to try them out on or test. Because there are definitely ops that I do like specific tests with. Like, one of them was Rosmontis. I actually built Rosmontis like properly. I had her not built for like a long time because I was just prioritizing other things. And when Wizardel got announced, I remember kind of thinking, like, I had Rosmontis semi-built, but I don't think I had masteries. I don't think I had module on her or anything like that. And I was like, I'm actually going to put some resources into Rosmontis to build her properly, because I kind of want to have, like, a baseline of comparison. Like, really what I wanted to know is, you know, hardly anyone was using her, and it was kind of like, is she actually as bad as people say? Or is she bad at all? Or, you know, is there something that people kind of missed about her? And one of the big ones is definitely like the module upgrades make a pretty big difference, and I really should do this at some point. I just haven't, because these damn data blocks are so valuable. But the armor ignore in her kit is like a really big deal, because with Rosmontis, one of the things that's kind of janky is that buffing her attack she's one of the few operators where buffing her attack is less effective than than shredding armor, because she deals multiple hits at half of her attack. So if I buff her, like if I give her a Sculptor buff, I'm only getting half of that benefit on every single one of the multiple hits, and the full benefit on the first strike. When you reduce the armor of an enemy, because the multiple hits are dealing half damage, the amount that you're reducing the armor, normally you would be better off just having that much or more attack. In her case, you get 100% of the benefit of reducing armor. Assuming you're above the threshold, I should add. So all of these multiple hits that are hitting enemies, if you reduce the armor by 200, then every single one of the hits is dealing 200 more damage. And typically, if you could reduce armor by 200 or add 200 attack, you'd take the 200 attack. But in Rosmontis' case, it doesn't work that way. So her module upgrade, like for most operators, this would be pretty negligible. It would actually seem like not that big of a deal. But in Rosmontis' kit specifically, this extra armor ignore is substantially stronger than it would be for other normal operators because of how her kit works. And especially with S2, because S2, if you just go by the skill, when it says each attack causes 2 additional shockwaves, that's in addition to the shockwaves she already creates. So we are talking about 3 instances of physical damage, 2 of which are shockwaves. So she's hitting 3 times. This is causing 2 additional. So we're hitting 5 times. 5 hits, 4 of which are at half of her attack. So keep that in mind. 4 hits at half of her attack. That is why that armor shred is so important. And so it even the way I have her right now, this really should be level 3 to take full advantage of that, because putting extra levels on her has depreciating returns because you're only getting half of that for most of her attacks. Buffing her, you're only getting half of that for most of her attacks. So there's all of these things where the way you make Rosmontis stronger is by making the enemies weaker, and that has asymmetric returns compared to buffers, and she's one of the only operators in the game that are like that, and that's why I think so many people were kind of convinced that she was sort of weak, was because enemy armor has just increased a lot, and without the module upgrades, you're not compensating for that very much on the weaker enemies. With it, she completely destroyed the Babel event. Holy crap. It was like amazing how much damage she did in the Babel event. I just want to put that out there because what were they, like those like stage cannons or whatnot, the little destructible cannon devices that would be on there, like she destroyed those stupidly quick. There were a number of enemies that she also was like very, very, very effective on in the Babel event. And I just, again, that I kind of used her for that. I had tested her already, but W was coming out, and again, not a lot of people even know anything about Rosmontis, so I wanted to have her on the stream and just use her while I could. But for this Pepe event, this is gonna come quite a lot in handy as well, because like I said, you're dealing the AoEs and the 5 hits, and between the two, you don't need any of the consumables at all to deal with the gemstones, especially if everything gets connected. So Rosmontis is going to be highly effective in this event, and that's kind of one of the other things. One of the other messages that I think a lot of people get lost when they obsess over the meta is oftentimes they do something that I call leaving power on the table, which is basically where you say, well, tier lists say she's not good, so I'm just never going to build her. I'm not going to think about her. You never learn how she works. You have your Wizardel, your Typhon, whoever else you think is meta, right? And then you come across some specific thing in the game where Rosmontis is actually ideal at, and to me that's one of the things that always kind of gets me, is that the whole point, like, operators are like tools, and some of those tools are going to be more specialized, which means you don't use them all the time, but there could always be a scenario where that's like exactly the thing you need, and you never know when that's going to happen. So when the meta is like the most relevant is actually only really for new players, where you only have so many resources, you only have so many operators, and you have to choose what you're going to build that's going to get you good mileage at that time. And so having, your all-purpose one-size-fits-all, which really is, when people talk about the meta, what they're talking about. As somebody that actually played a game to a world-class level, when I played World of Warships once upon a time, I was able to compete with the best in the world in ranked, and I had a global ranking of 41 once upon a time. I still have some leaderboard entries that stand to today in that game if I look stuff up. I think I still am listed as the 21st or 22nd best player of the HMS Hood or something like that, which is pretty insane because that was so many years ago. But in my opinion, the buffs that they did to that ship ruined it. People were dumb and complained about the wrong things. Anyways, that's a whole sidetrack for another thing. But my point is, one of the things I realize as a competitive player in a PvP game is that in this game, people use meta, the word, incorrectly. They use it to describe the thing that you can use the most often, and it will be able to get the job done. But that's not the same as the best tool for the job. So when you're playing a competitive game, meta leans a lot more towards what in this game you would call niche. So, like, indisputably, a meta operator for this game is Weedy, and it's not because you use Weedy a lot, it's because nobody else can do what Weedy does, or even comes close to it. And so when you need what Weedy does, you need a Weedy, and everything else is suboptimal. It's just that simple. There's no other way to put it. But again, Weedy doesn't get used that often, but when you need her, you can't substitute anyone else. And that's what actually meta is. Meta means most effective tactic available. Most, meaning there's nothing out there anywhere that's going to be better than that for that instance. And that's going to change based on, like, every scenario. And so when people give advice for operators, because they can't say it's only for this stage, it's just kind of generic advice, they default to operators that don't rely on squad synergy. So for instance, the reason why Viviana got hated on is because Viviana requires synergy because she doesn't have Res Shred built into her kit. But as soon as you pair her with a Praminix, she's not just stronger than Surtur, she's stronger than Surtur paired with a Praminix. Does that mean that Viviana is going to replace Surtur? No, because you still have to use a Praminix. But the synergy that you get with Viviana plus Praminix is stronger than Surtur and Praminix. So because there is the amount that Viviana is improved by that synergy is significantly larger, the team composition, like, it matters. So it always bothers me that the general advice from the community is always put into these categories where operators are examined in a complete vacuum. And Supa makes the argument that the reason why you do that is because you never know what other people are going to have. But that's not the point. The point is you tell people what the synergies are so that they can build towards that if they want to optimize that. It is, if you're a meta player, then it is assumed that you are not going to leave any cracks, any, like, if you're a competitive player, you are going to assume that the people you're playing against have unlimited money, that they have everything, and that they're not going to do you any favors. Obviously, this is a single-player game, so that doesn't apply, but the idea that somebody's not going to have an operator and you have to evaluate them because of that is ridiculous. It should be about, like, how do you actually maximize this person? And if you're comparing everyone at their maximum potential, meaning what's the absolute best way to use them and how useful are they then, you get a lot better of a take. And that's not the same as like a buff army, because a buff army sacrifices everything in your squad for one operator. If you're doing like balls to the walls, you can do like light, I use, relatively light buff and debuff combinations. So for instance, if you're using Viviana and a Praminix and a Sculptor, that's not a buff army. Like, sometimes I'll post strats and people will be like, oh, yeah, you can kill Patriot with a Myrtle. I'm like, yes, if you build every single operator in your squad around that strat. But me killing Patriot with Viviana because I use Reed Alter as my healer, a lot of people use Reed Alter and like are already in their squad. So if Reed Alter's already in your squad, Viviana can just slot right in there, and as long as your enemies have less 50% or less res, then you don't even need Praminix. You only need Praminix for higher res enemies. And even then, with Reed and Viviana paired up, she'll generally do enough damage for everything. You'd probably swap that out to have a real proper healer and a Praminix and just not have the Reed if you're fighting a boss, because the amplification's not going to matter. But Viviana does so much throughput on damage, sans res shred, that the exterior shred that you get from Praminix kills things faster than just about anyone else. I mean, it's crazy how quickly she can kill stuff if you just put a little bit of synergy behind it. So I always felt that people kind of looked at things, how shall I say? Wrong's not the right way to put it, but they always, there was like these logical fallacies in the assumptions that people make about what makes an operator meta or good or out of meta or whatnot. And particularly with older operators, a lot of older operators people kind of discount. Like, a lot of people haven't even tested out Silver Ash with the level 3 module, and again, I get it, module data blocks are expensive. But I kind of just wanted to see, because the boost is like so absurd. The extra damage from this is it's 45. I think it's actually a little bit more than that. Just over 45% more damage. And this isn't really going to properly show it, but I am going to do this real quick since I'm kind of already talking about it. But we're going to put a Silver Ash in here. And the whole point is just
we all have our roles to play. Use my abilities as best you see fit.
The whole point is just to see... Actually, you know what? I don't want... we're going to take Sculptor out of there. We'll put a Warframe in there so that I can do buffed and unbuffed. The other reason why, when I originally tested this, I did a Warframe was because I was also testing SP batterying him for skill recharge, because his cycle is ass. But
passion saves no one.
I was quite impressed with the damage. Even just his regular vanilla hits are significantly stronger now, because the 10% arts damage, which is, as far as I know, not reduced by his talent. So this attack right here, or the trait, the 20% reduced damage that he deals from his physical attack, the 10% arts I don't think gets reduced, because this is like a separate instance of damage. So his ability to just lane hold normally is actually a lot better than it was before. Also, his base attack with the module is pretty spicy, because I don't even have him in a Sculptor, but with Sculptor it's going to be like 1300, which is actually pretty good for vanilla hits. So he actually hits kind of hard now, just on normal enemies. So, which, like I said, like both parts, like his capacity to lane hold was a bit sketch before. It's not amazing, but it's a lot better. And his actual damage, like if you look at how quickly stuff dies, like he almost one-shots the wolves. He one-shots a lot of stuff. So that's not buffed. That's, oh, I didn't click fast enough. I should have shown his attack unbuffed. Because his attack buffed is going to be a lot better. Well, how hard does he hit? 1791. Vanilla hits just with a Warframe buff. But yeah, he doesn't, like, he can actually succeed at the lane holder test, which is what this is. Like, I'd always 2-op this and call it the lane holder test. If an operator can 2-op this with just something to keep them alive and hold the lane against everything, then chances are they can generally act as a general purpose lane holder anywhere. But we'll throw the Warframe buff on this time. Maybe I'll activate his skill and click on him and then hit Warframe's buff so we can see both the attack values. But it is pretty spicy. I mean, he was already like one-shotting these guys for sure, and almost one-shotting the wolves. At max pot, he would be one-shotting the wolves.
Made up your mind?
So, okay, he has 2707 and 3457. It's just under 3,500, but with the Warframe buff, like, it's stupid how much damage he does. And then, of course, like, the other thing is I'll leak if I do this, but we can. His recharge is also improved substantially. So his wind-up, his skill is cycles faster, significantly faster if you retreat and redeploy him. If you're not using him as a lane holder, if you're just using him for true Silver Slash, this actually pretty substantially improves his cycle time. So that's kind of, if there's, because he's not really going to, chances are, replace Milnar. I think people just having that cycle time be shorter. Shorter cycle times make operators more tactical, more dynamic, and you don't have to worry about timing as much. But obviously, the longer duration skills are nicer when you have a chonky boss and you want to do enough damage to them to kill them in that phase before your skill ends. So that's kind of the trade-off. So the ideal sort of uptime for skills is generally between 20 and 30 seconds. And so skills that go for like 60 seconds can kind of be a problem because they have a really long cycle time. And skills with like an absurdly long recharge like this. So it's not the duration that's the problem, it's the 90-second recharge on this that's kind of the problem. Redeploying him cuts it down substantially because it's, 56-ish second redeployment with his module fully upgraded, and then 15 seconds on top of that to go from 75 to 90, which is obviously a smaller number than 90. So that's, but like I said, I wanted to test Warframe and see if the SP battery made it better than that. In general, I don't think it does. It's not really. One of the other problems with skills like this is that there's generally not a good way to SP battery them. The skills that SP battery the best either have weird conditions for charging, like Eunectes, or they're skills that the SP battery can make up a substantial portion of the total SP that you're charging, and that is like bagpipe actually with some operators. It's like, for instance, what's her face? Saria's S1 or S2 on bagpipe makes her S2 pop off substantially harder because it already has. It's, charging 25% of this every time she just gets 1 SP. It makes up a huge percentage. That's also kind of how Chongyu's S2 works, because it only has so this is actually a good example of what I was talking about. This skill is like really short duration. However, it charges ridiculously quick, and it has very good cycle time. Like, even without his level 3 module to enhance his SP recharge, with it, it just makes it charge stupidly quickly because of this. And this, to be honest, both of these. At any rate, though, like, this skill I'll show it off. It comes up so ridiculously quickly that you basically don't really have to think about timing at all. You can completely ignore timing for the most part and just activate the skill whenever you feel like he should hit harder or needs to survive getting hit by something, because he doesn't gain barrier based on losing health. He loses a percentage of health and then gains the fixed amount of barrier. So even if he's at a sliver of health, if his skill's up, he can take big hits because the barrier comes in like as soon as you activate the skill. And as long as he's at low health, his skill charges stupidly fast. So it's just one of those things where cycle time is like a really, really big deal. It's not, because even if his skill has 50%, which is generally good uptime, 50, we'll say 66% uptime, if it lasts a really, really long time, like Amia's skill 1 on her incantation form, because the cycle ends up being so long, even though it has decent uptime, it ends up being overall mediocre. I really wish Amia's skill 1 was cut in half, like everything about it just cut in half. But yeah, we're gonna keep his health low just because look how it just charges so freaking fast. Like, his health doesn't even matter. You do have to babysit him, though. That's the problem, is you have to continually click the button. So that's kind of why that 20 to 30 second time is so optimal for skill uptime, because it reduces how often you have to click buttons. But it's short enough if the overall cycle time is, 45 seconds to a minute. You're not always clicking buttons, but it's still fairly dynamic.
All balance held by the orders of Yan. All beasts hunted by the sons of men. The situation tiny may a candle be. It shall
But
dry
yeah,
out the darkest.
he's special.
A unit never takes the same formation as water.
It's pretty insane.
Such extraordinary planning and execution.
Sometimes I think to myself, what Rhodes Island is trying to do is really hard.
But yeah, Amia. Let me pull up Amia's skill, because I had mentioned it.
So complicated, but I'm more than glad to help out.
This one right here. So it's 50 second to charge, or 50 second duration, 70 to charge. But that's what I'm saying. Like, the uptime's pretty good on that. It's not quite 50-50, but what's that come out to? 5 and 7 is 12. It's close to 50-50. A 5 out of 12. But then again, if you consider the whole cycle time of everything, then it's a minute 40 for the cycle time. And if this were 35 seconds to charge and this were 25 though, think of how good this skill would be. That's like right in the Goldilocks zone. So you have just enough uptime to where, for a decent number of boss phases, elite enemies, enemy waves, high pressure times or whatnot, where you need the skill to pop off, you're not going to have this skill just sitting during between waves doing nothing and then being on a 70-second downtime right as the next wave comes. Like that's the problem with like these long cycle times. So even though the duration is really really good, the uptime is pretty solid, and the effect itself is pretty solid. The problem is the overall cycle is very long, and that means that you have to have very very good timing to make sure that the windows between skill cycles, something bad's not going to happen like right in that moment. And so in general, that becomes significantly less of an issue the shorter skills become, even if the ratios stay the same and nothing else has changed. So I really really don't like I wish they just had this cut in time. And then they had this skill where that's just not a problem, but you can only use it once, period. And so I don't like this skill because I just think that her S3 in her caster form for true damage, where she gets retreated, you can still redeploy her and use her again. She just gets retreated, so that you have to redeploy her to use that skill over again. That's the drawback to her skill 3, but you can use it more than once. So this skill is so restrictive. And then I tested the damage and everything, and it just wasn't that amazing, and the mastery benefits aren't that great. It wasn't enough for me to think that when I want true damage, this is going to be something that I'm going to look at. Because even in just comparison, like I said, to our S3, I would rather use our S3. It does more impressive damage in my opinion. It has the expanded range, and you can use it more than once. And you're not locked into some sort of conditional timing to get her damage just right by having a bunch of enemies. I will say, though, that this skill is much easier to get an optimal activation than her Guard S2, which also is a true damage skill. But I think that one's the worst out of all of her skills. So if I were to have advice for people looking at Amia for true damage, just use her caster S3 instead of this one. This skill is actually pretty good. The problem just is this cycle time. The overall cycle sucks, but the uptime and downtime ratio is good, and the benefits are pretty decent. And I put masteries on her just because, I mean, I don't really need this or use it, but I still test things, and I just don't see a point to this at all. And I really, really wish that Hypergriff would be a little bit more generous with welfare operators, and not... I feel like with welfare operators, they kind of intentionally make them worse than non-welfare. I'm not talking 6 stars. I'm just talking like normal whatever. Because I feel the same way about, I guess a lot of people feel that way about Crown Slayer. I think Crown Slayer is still interesting. I'm definitely going to use her a bunch because I have some ideas. But I do think that, Crown Slayer's not going to be damage. Like, I'm just not even going to think about the damage numbers when it comes to using Crown Slayer. And that's fine. It's going to be other things that I'm going to look at for that. And also skill 2 looks completely worthless. Like, I don't know what they were thinking with skill 2. It's like a way worse version of like Blaze's skill 3 in a way. It's like you have this long wind up. Actually no, her skill 3 does damage. So it's oh man. I don't like her skill 3 at all either. But I was thinking at least her skill 3 does actually continually deal damage before the burst. But the reason why I don't like skills like this and Crown Slayer's skill 2 and stuff like that is because skills that ramp up in damage mean that when you're actually dealing the peak damage, you have to time it for what you intend to hit with that. And so it makes it harder to use in general because now you're forced to apply timing. And then the other thing is that the actual damage that this one deals is not that impressive to begin with. So, even if this were completely masteried out, like, it doesn't last that long, the total damage isn't that impressive, the payoff isn't that big, you lose a bunch of hit points, and there's kind of a lot of things. But in general, ramping up damage skills are worse than ramping down damage skills. So let's compare that to like Kelsey. This right here. The reaon why ramping down is so much better is because the moment you activate this, it's the first hit you get is the strongest hit. And so if you're killing a boss or fighting something powerful and there's a decent chance that they're gonna get killed by said boss, so you're just trying to do as much damage as you can, you want that to be front loaded, and you don't have to be concerned about precise timing because you get the biggest hits when you activate the skill. So you activate the skill, even if you only get 2 or 3 hits in, they're your strongest hits, then Monster or maybe Kelsey gets killed and you can't deal the rest of the damage. At least you did as much as you could. If you had to ramp up that damage before you got the actual juicy meaty bits, then they just die before you ever get the payout. So that's why ramping down damage is so much better than ramping up damage. They are not equal, not at all. And the damage loss from a skill like this, I mean, in general, Monster is strong enough to where even his weakest hits, especially with the true damage, are still like not bad. But that's not really the point. The point is front-loaded damage is just better in Arknights all the time. It's not even a question. And that's one of the main things that holds Carnelian back. So I will eventually build Carnelian, but again, it hasn't been a huge priority because I don't like her kit. I can't remember when I tested her because I didn't have her, but I had her for something. I can't remember what. I don't know if I borrowed someone else's or what, but I know that I tested Carnelian when she first came out, and I hate her S3. Or maybe she was a unit that you could just use for something, like an event. I can't remember, but I remember testing her S3, and at the time when she first came out, her S3 I think did, in theory, the most arts damage out of any unit in the game, but it was a ramp-up skill, and it was so conditional to get it to pop off that it was just easier to use other units. And overall, her arts damage wasn't that impressive because she was just dealing the least powerful hits she had to everything rather than the most powerful hits she had for everything. And the other issue was that she had her conditional healing. She actually had to kill stuff. You can't even see it. Holy shit. Oh no, it's not kill stuff. It's activate skill. Oh man. So the conditional healing was another issue because these units are like, she wasn't designed to bait attacks. Like, you don't get benefits really for her getting attacked when she came out. And Beeswax regened enough hit points passively that you could just place her somewhere and forget, and most of the time people used her, it wasn't even for damage. It was just to bait attacks and absorb something somewhere indefinitely. Like, I've used her several times in Patriot clears to just absorb his spear. Back in the day, I mean, I don't have her module. I do have her nearly maxed out, though. Back in the day, that wasn't really that common of a strategy. Maybe people did it. I'm not sure. Because you can also use Tactician Vanguards to bait out Patriot Spear, which in my opinion is a little bit bigger brain. Because she can kind of barely do it. But she can do it. She can pretty much indefinitely tank Patriot Spear. Assuming you also don't have her tanking the mortars. And the guys that throw the big iron rods, I forget what those are called. Sarkaz, possessed, whatever, somethings. The fuck are those things called? I think they're in chapter 5. Like all over this chapter. I think. Maybe it's chapter 6. are those things called? Oh, you know what? I know where there's a bunch of them. The Rosmontis stage. Where is it? Is it this one? This one? It's the Rosmontis stage. This one. These guys. Enraged Possessed Soldier. I was close. I said possessed. Bone Thrower. That's what it is. The Bone Throwers. These guys. A lot of people back in the day used beeswax just to absorb these guys as well for her passive healing. And like Carnelian just got molested. I remember trying that with her. It did not work because she didn't have the regen. So, yeah. Ramping up damage, no bueno, and she just didn't have the healing. They addressed that with Lynn, even right out the gate, before they introduced the module, by having this kind of weird gimmick where she just didn't take any damage unless it was a big enough hit. And this ended up being enough enemies overall that pretty much only powerful stuff actually damaged her, and then she's tanky enough to where if you need more, you can just have her in healing. And then they also added the whole thing where you want her to get attacked because it makes her more powerful by charging her skills. So it was really like she kind of became the ultimate iteration because the whole point of Phalanx casters was already to bait attacks unless you were Carnelian. And then she deals all of her damage up. I mean, she doesn't have decreasing or increasing. She just deals all of her damage whenever her skill's up. And even though the cycle time on this is not great on paper, this can charge a lot quicker when you're using her to bait attacks. Or you can just shoot her with AC buffs. And I almost instantly charge this. Because that's the other way to take advantage of this talent right here, is to just artificially, take synthetic hits and get an AC buff. So she is probably the best AC synergy in the whole game, even though AC was clearly designed for defenders. At the time it would have been Blemishine, but it basically defenders with defensive SP skills. I did not click the right button. So, this right here, Blemishine, S3, this is really what S3 was designed to do, is just instantly charge this skill and then give her the attack buff, and it barely scratches her because her defense is high enough. And so, but obviously people didn't want to use AC for that. People wanted to use AC for literally any and everything else that wasn't that. Be that, buffing Siege S3 back in the day to do, 20k hits with a buff army. Or actually Helliger was really popular back in the day to buff, because they wanted him to just eat the damage to be lower health wise, to exploit his faster attack. So they would just pump him full of AC lead so that his attack speed would be popping off, and then he'd get the buff. And back then his attack was considered reasonably impressive, I remember, but nowadays his attack is just not, because armor has just been scaled to a whole new level than it was 3 years ago. Scotty has not fared so well from that either. Anyways, I'm gonna wrap it up here. I'll be on again in the next 2 days. I don't know exactly when. Probably tomorrow, because I'm gonna finish up the event up to the boss, and I don't know what else I'm gonna do. Maybe I'll also finish up some reclamation algorithm stuff, because I did play a reasonable amount of this. I still don't have the Hoshi thing, but I didn't just click through to farm mindlessly to get it. Wait, what? Oh, yeah. So I've got Where is... Oh, I've got a ways to go before I get the Hoshi skin. But I basically, I've almost cleared this for the most part. Like, I need to do this boss, but the thing is this is stuck in the dry season, even though it's not the dry season literally anywhere else. And fighting that boss is... It just one-shots everything in the hot. So I would have to go build a whole bunch of stuff and use a ton of resources to come up with something stupid, and then I'm gonna have to experiment with that and throw a bunch of stuff away. So I just kind of ended up doing everything else, and now I'm at a point where like there isn't anything else that in order to progress I have to go beyond this point, and then I just have to burn like almost a whole year to come back to like a wet season that should then apply to these stages. And that's all just kind of a pain in the ass. I've done everything else in here. I did all the slug races and whatnot. I didn't even like farm anything crazy slug-wise. I got like a handful of decent slugs that I used for like everything. I thought this guy was gonna be good. Like, he looked good on paper. He was absolute ass. He didn't do shit. These guys... I had to do one on him, not even a 3-star Pompeii. Random Pompeii slug. But yeah, these were the ones that totally carried. And this guy seemed like he was going to be good, and then didn't do shit. And my Pompeii was needed one time. And I don't think anyone else has anything. But yeah. Those were the slugs I got, and I did everything else. I literally just have to go into the last area, which sucks. Anyways, that's it for today. I'll see you probably tomorrow. Later.